Today we'll be going through the service and maintenance on the AquaStore. So first thing we're going to do is isolate the power supply to the appliance so it's safe to work on, as well as isolate the cold water supply and hot outlet to the unit, which allows us to drain off the appliance to access the immersions and anode. Once that's been done, we will take off the top cover, a couple of screws at the top, and then just to prove that you're safe and dead from the power supply, check your voltage incoming between earth and live, neutral and live, and all your phases. This should be completely dead. From there, just go over your electrical connections and make sure they're all tight. I've got a couple on the contactor and a couple on the incoming supply. And then we're going to remove the screws on the side of the appliance and the front, which will allow us access to the evaporator coil and the refrigeration circuit. From there, we're going to inspect the circuit itself and see if there's any evidence of oil, cracks or abrasions, which may sort of promote a leak. But from here, we can see that it's nice and clean. The evaporator coil, on the other hand, is very dirty. So first job we're going to do is stick a mask on and with a soft brush, give it a brush, give it clean off. After we've completed this, we're going to remove the anode cap, which will allow us to access the sacrificial anode, which is there to protect the cylinder. This needs to be at least 60% of its original width to allow adequate protection for the cylinder. As you can see, ours is fairly good condition, so we're just going to reinstate it back into the cylinder once sealed correctly and tighten that back up. We're then going to remove the immersions. The appliance has two. We'll start by removing the electrical connections and inspecting them to ensure that they're not damaged at all, and then remove the immersions and inspect the condition. Our ones have seen a fair bit of usage, so we're going to decide to replace them for some fresh ones. From there, we can access the bottom of the tank, and we're going to use a wet vac and hose to remove any loose debris and before reinstating those immersions. What we're going to do now is essentially put the cold water supply back onto the appliance without the electrical connections on to ensure there are no leaks. We're going to put the connections back on and then power up the appliance. The appliance will go through this dry firing sequence where it will test its contactors and ensuring they're working correctly.
Dry firing test.
Once completed, we can then change the operational mode. We're going to leave it as hybrid just so we can get the hot water up and running as quickly as possible. This will essentially run the refrigeration circuit as well as the immersions, which means we can then test the current draw on the immersions. Just ensure that these are in line with the manufacturer's instructions. From there, we can reassemble the casings the same way we took them off. And once the screws have all been reinstated back to the appliance, we can check its error history and make sure it's getting up to temperature.